You might just be an introvert who thinks he's an extrovert. Introvert doesn't necessarily mean you're quiet. Doesn't mean you're nerdy or homely or you don't like people or you don't like to talk or be around people. It does not mean that at all. Being an introvert simply means you get your energy from within. I really believe Andre 3000 is an introvert, right? You can look at him and kind of tell. But another person who I think is an introvert, I really think Jay-Z is an introvert. I think Prince was an introvert, Michael Jackson. I think some of our literary stars like Stephen King. I think a lot of these people who have contributed greatly to the world, and they had to be around people, right? In other words, they would never have gotten their ideas out there. Because you got to deal with people. You got to deal with producers, directors, the general public, sign autographs, right? Got to do all that. But you're an introvert. So introverts does not mean that you cannot be a star. I keep telling people, being an introvert simply means you get your energy from within. Some of the greatest prophets in the Bible were introverts. Jesus was an introvert if you study his life. All right, so now what is the difference between an introvert and an extrovert? Again, an introvert, you get your energy from within. So you can sit outside and read and just be and listen to some music on your porch and just have a wonderful, awesome day. All right, extroverts can't really do that, or if they do, they're on the phone, right? They're calling people, they're talking to people in the neighborhood, they got somebody with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they get their energy, they pull it from the outside. Introverts bring it from the inside. Again, study the life of Jesus. Look how he would go up in the mountain and pray, come back and teach. He had 12 disciples. I'm sure they hung out and ate together. They prayed together. They probably told jokes and told stories. And the Bible says they sang. Being an introvert is not a bad thing. And some of the most awesome people who have contributed to society are not introverts. Listen, at one point I couldn't stay home. I was always out. At the lounge, at the club, at the bowling alley, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But the difference is I went with purpose. My purpose was to talk to the ladies. That was my purpose. Have some fun, talk to the ladies. I'm a single man and I'm out. You know where extroverts, a lot of extroverts would be out in the lounge looking like an introvert. They just be leaning up against the wall with a drink on their chest, right? You know, so, but again, introverts talk about things that are important to them. You might find them talking about religion. You may find them talking about history. They may talk about music. You latch on to a certain topic. It might be, hey man, how's your health? I heard, you told me last week you had a bad cough. How's your health? They want to talk about meaningful things. They hate small talk. All that good morning, this and that. They might do that to get to the bigger picture. Okay, bro, what you doing in investments? Bro, what you doing with your son in football? It might be a woman. Hey, sister, what you doing as far as music? They get into the meaning of things in that conversation. Small talk is very boring to them because they get their energy from within and they talk when they really have something heartfelt and important to say. Doesn't necessarily mean they're quiet. Introvert may talk way more than an extrovert. So ask yourself, do some research. Are you an introvert that thinks he's an extrovert? I bet a lot of you are. Peace.